So in this video, I'm going to suggest some more advanced ideas for using ChatGPT for practicing foreign languages. So this is going to be ideal if either you are a teacher or a student. Now, just to say, I am actually a language teacher with a long history in language teaching, and I've even actually helped to contribute towards course books, writing photocopyable materials and teachers' books, etc. So I have got quite a lot of experience. And what I'm going to try to do in this video is to show you something a little bit different. Now, I have already made a video about using ChatGPT for speaking, and there were some really interesting comments, and I've tried to take those comments on board. So this is highly practical, and I'm going to be very specific about the types of activities that you can do. I'm going to demonstrate them in other languages so that you actually see how they would work. I can't guarantee that these activities will work in every language, but certainly I've tested them in several languages and they seem to work really well. Really hope you like the video, and if you do, please like it, please share it, please comment on it, and of course click on the new hype button. When you click on the like button, you also get the chance to hype my videos, and that supposedly helps my ranking on YouTube, and that would be a big help. Let's get started. Advanced ideas for using ChatGPT for language learning. So my first idea is this: instead of just chatting to ChatGPT, play a game with it. The game that I'm going to play is that I'm going to think of a job, and ChatGPT has got to ask me questions to work out what my job is. Now I'm going to tell it in English the instructions, but we'll play the game in Spanish. I've done this in Spanish and French. It works really well. Just one tip: make sure that you tell ChatGPT that it must actually work out the specific job that you're thinking of, because otherwise ChatGPT is a bit lazy. Let me show you. This works really well, and it's great for language practice. I'm using the free tool. And remember, you can write to ChatGPT, but I like speaking to it. So you could obviously write your instructions in. I'm going to click here. ChatGPT, I'd like to play a game where I think of a job, and your job is to ask me questions, and I will say yes or no to find out exactly what my job is. So I'm thinking of a very specific job in Spanish, and I want you to ask me questions in Spanish to work out and try to find exactly the job that I'm thinking of. Is that okay?
Claro que sí, me encanta la idea. Entonces, empecemos. ¿Tu trabajo está relacionado con el ámbito de la salud?
No, para nada, no.
Entendido. ¿Tu trabajo implica trabajar al aire libre o en un entorno exterior?
No, eso depende un poquito. A veces puedo estar en una oficina y a veces puedo estar fuera. Pero yo creo que hoy en día ya este trabajo se pasa más en casa, en la oficina, o incluso en casa que se puede hacerlo. Now that idea really works, and you could do it, say, for a country or for an object that you're thinking of or for an interest you've got. So you could play that game in various ways, but you must insist that ChatGPT exactly guesses your job or your country or whatever. It tends to be a little bit lazy, and I guess that's because I'm using the free tool. Really hope you like that idea, and if you do, please click on the like button because it massively helps me with my YouTube channel. I'm going to move on now to my second idea. Now, when you close down voice mode, you come back into ChatGPT again like this. Notice that it provides you with the transcript of your conversation, and the interesting thing is that you can actually listen to what the voice said to you. So for example, let's imagine here I can click and replay. This is where it finally works out what I've done.
Ah, periodista. Perfecto. Tiene todo el sentido con la versatilidad y el trabajo con tecnología y la escritura. Gracias por el juego, fue muy divertido. Si quieres jugar otra cosa, aquí estoy.
Now, interestingly, what you could do, let's say that you didn't understand something, you could just copy that just so easily, okay? And then you could, for example, put it into Google Translate and just check the meaning in English or whatever language you happen to speak. Now, interestingly, I've made a video about the 3 hidden features in Google Translate. It's proved really popular, and if you want to watch that video, I'll put it on the screen. I'm going to move on now to the second idea. Now, this second idea actually worked a lot better than I thought. I asked ChatGPT to find out about my day, but I insisted that it had to find out about the complete day, everything that I do during my typical working day. So asking me questions about when I get up, etc., etc. Now, it worked really well, and it did keep up and kept asking me questions and finding out about my typical day and what I did. And this is a great way, for example, of practicing the present simple. Of course, you could do the same thing talking about what did I do yesterday. Again, you must insist to ChatGPT that it completes the day, because ChatGPT, and I guess it's because I'm using the free tool, is a bit lazy, but this worked really well. Let me give you a bit of a taster of this idea in action. So I click on New Chat, and I'm going to click again on Voice Mode, and I'm going to give the instructions in English, but I'm going to speak in French. I'd like you to find out as much as you can about my typical working day. What do I do? How do I spend my day? What do I do for lunch? How much time do I spend working? What interests have I got? And what things do I practice and do during the day? And I'd like you to do this in French. Now, my French isn't that good. It's only about an intermediate level. So can you keep the questions fairly short and try not to speak too quickly? But this will be a great way for me to practice my French. Are you ready?
Bien sûr, pas de souci. On va commencer dès le matin. À quelle heure est-ce que tu te réveilles d'habitude et qu'est-ce que tu fais en premier quand tu te lèves?
Je me rêve normalement à 6 heures et je prends le café immédiatement.
Super, merci pour cette info. Et après ton café, est-ce que tu as une routine particulière? Par exemple, un petit exercice ou quelque chose comme ça?
Just a super quick break from the video. If you do like what you're seeing and you want more free videos, then come over to my website, teachertrainingvideos.com. I specialize in making videos to show teachers and students how to use technology in their language teaching and their language learning. And there's loads of content on the website. Also, if you're a language teacher, think about signing up to the newsletter. As well as getting updated on all the latest videos, there's a free 14-part course where I basically highlight some of the key technologies that we're using in language teaching, and many of the tools that I highlight are completely free. Also, if you were interested in having more training with me, then join me on Patreon. You get free videos every month with no advertising, and you get the chance to meet me online as well for an hour's training. We do an hour's training every month with the Patreon group where we actually work with the technology so you really learn to use them well. Thank you very much. Let's get back to the video. So I'm going to click on New Chat, and then obviously I'm going to click on the voice tool. ChatGPT, I'd like you to find out about my holidays in Greece. I went to holiday for Greece. I'd like to find out specifically where I went, how I traveled there, how long I stayed, what I ate, what I thought of the hotel, what things I did, whether I practiced any sports or did anything like that while I was away. Did I practice my Greek? Did I use any Greek? Did I buy anything? And overall, what was my impression of the holiday? Could we do this in Spanish? Would that be okay?
Claro que sí. Podemos hacerlo en español sin problema. Si quieres, cuéntame un poco más sobre tu viaje a Grecia y así podemos ir detallando todos esos aspectos. Va a estar muy interesante.
Bueno, entonces estuve en Grecia 2 semanas. Es mis primeras vacaciones después de 3 años, porque recientemente no he tenido el tiempo para ir de vacaciones.
Qué bien que hayas podido ir después de tanto tiempo. 2 semanas suena genial. Cuéntame un poquito más, ¿a qué lugares fuiste exactamente? ¿Cómo llegaste allá? ¿Qué tal la comida y el hotel? Todo lo que quieras compartir, estoy aquí para escucharte.
One thing I've learned about that activity, because it did work really well, is insist that it only asks you, that ChatGPT only asks you one question at a time. Otherwise, it just keeps asking loads and loads of questions, Rather say, look, you know, my level's not that high. Can you ask me one specific question at a time? And it will work a lot better. But that was certainly a good experience for me. I tried that both in Spanish and in French. If you were interested in learning more from me and studying with me, there are basically 3 things that you can do. The first thing that you can do is to obviously sign up to the newsletter. You get updated with all the latest videos, but you also get that free 14-part video course where I highlight some of the most popular technologies on my YouTube channel. And most of the technologies that I highlight are free, or they certainly have a free option. Now I'll put the link so that you can sign up to the newsletter below in the description. The second thing that you can do is you can join me on Patreon. Now, if you join me on Patreon, you get access to 3 videos every month. These are exclusive to the people on Patreon. They're much more practical. There's no advertisements in the videos. I go straight into the training and I provide more ideas for actually using in the classroom or for teaching online. So they're much more practical in that way. And these videos, what I try to do is I cover things often that I don't cover in the YouTube videos, or they are, at least the people on Patreon will see the technologies before I introduce them onto YouTube. So you're always first if you access the Patreon content, and often you will see things that I don't even show on my YouTube channel. The other thing about Patreon is that you get to meet me live. So once a month we do a live session. It's a real hands-on session and a chance to try out some of the technologies and to experience them, so that you've really got that extra confidence when you decide to try and use them in the classroom. Now, if you can't make the live sessions, you don't have to worry. I record them and make them all accessible to everybody on Patreon. One other thing, the way I set up Patreon is that you don't only get access to new videos. So if you join, you don't get only just access to the new videos. I'll put a link to my Patreon so that you can below in the description in the YouTube video. Material. But if you do visit the website, you can click on this link here on the banner, and it's going to take you to a page where there's a video that you can listen to get more information about Patreon, as well as, of course, the chance to join me on Patreon. And it'd be really lovely to have some of you joining me on my Patreon channel. The last way to work with me is to join me on my technology course. It's a course that I created in collaboration with NILE, that's the Norwich Institute for Language Education, who have got a fantastic reputation in the area of teacher training in language education. We've collaborated together on this course, and it's by far the most successful course that I've ever run. And it's all about really using technology in your teaching and learning, either in a blended hybrid type of format or fully online. Now, it's a highly practical course and right up to date. So I'm bringing in all my knowledge from all the different technologies that I'm working with into this course. You get the chance to do a webinar with me every week, and then you work through some materials online, and it's very practical. You have to do lots of different activities using technology, and then you put all of those technologies into an e-portfolio as evidence of your learning. I give you feedback on your e-portfolio. You get lots and lots of support, and it really is a course that has proved to be very popular, and people like it because it's a little bit different. The assessment's different. Everything is very interconnected, and of course, as I've said, I bring you right up to date with some of the latest AI technologies that we're using in teaching and learning. Again, I'll put a description to that, or I'll put a link to that course in the YouTube description, but also if you are on my website, you can click on this banner and it's going to bring you over to the NILE site, where there's lots more information about the price, about the dates, etc. Be lovely to have some of you on that course. It's certainly the most successful online course that I've ever run. Thank you very much. I'm going to leave now some more videos on the screen that you might find useful.